upload and even live stream their crimes, all for the hopes of getting a funny clip or simply some attention that they never got at home. With TikTok becoming so prevalent in our society, and people having access to things like meta glasses and phones they can whip out at a moment's notice, I feel like you have people more thirsty for views, likes, and followers than ever, and once they get that little taste of going viral, the clout goblin is really born, and it must be fed over and over again like a little baby. And with the story I have for you today, it's really no different. Meet Kyle Vasquez, known online as Tommy Tough Knuckles, the latest TikToker to be tried in court for his content that he creates online. And this guy is not just doing public nuisance stuff. I mean, that is a big part of it, but he's actually facing possible felonies here over TikTok clout. And so I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, who the hell is this Tommy Tough Knuckles character? Who is Kyle? Well guys, as you can see by his TikTok profile, this man is very proud of his mugshot. Personally, I always felt like it was a really lame move to put your mugshot up as your profile picture. Maybe unless you're some sort of rapper trying to make it. You know, when I see that type of thing, I just think, oh man, we got a badass over here. We got a tough guy. I remember I went to high school with this girl and she was like one of the first people to actually go to jail after getting out of school. And I remember she makes the mugshot her profile picture and she starts calling herself online like ankle bracelet shouty or something like that. And I remember it had a whole news segment and everything.
I don't know why you would drive if you know that you're drunk and you're underage. Like it doesn't really make sense to me.
Insult to injury. An Austin woman rear-ended by a drunk driver is speaking out tonight after the suspect bragged about getting an ankle bracelet on social media.
He brags about ankle bracelet shouty as her new name, and she also tweeted a picture of her ankle bracelet. The account tweeted, "I give myself a pep talk to not get too drunk almost every time I go out."
I don't think a reasonable person would feel like that's something that you're proud of.
I mean, I'm sure now her mugshot would go viral. People would think she was hot. I don't know, I guess it's just me. Like, I don't want to put the fact that I got arrested on display. I mean, if that makes me a pussy or that makes me not tough, then so be it. But as you guys can see, this guy has 112,000 followers, which on TikTok is really not that much. I could do like a fart challenge every day showing off my different gas, and I think I could pop out like 100,000 in around a month. But you'll also notice that he has this GoFundMe here in his bio. We will get to that here in a little bit. And so pretty much this guy would mimic anything trending on TikTok trying to make his own page blow up. This was the type of content he was posting at first.
Put it in my ass! popcorn in my ass! Put the popcorn in my ass! Put the popcorn in my ass!
So essentially just going around being a dipshit out in public, trying to create a public spectacle, so if someone comes across this video, they think, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? I need to see more.
Stop!
What's wrong with that guy? I need to see more.
Stop!
And so there is Tommy himself in the flesh. Something tells me that is not the first time this man's face has looked like that. And no, I'm not talking about no Scarface shit. Now I will say, some of Tommy's videos are actually pretty funny. Like here where he requests for this Subway employee to keep toasting his sandwich over and over again.
Can you like double toast it? Can you do it one more time?
That's pretty funny.
I'll pay for it. You can't do it one more time? Why not?
Yeah, she gave that man the finger wag. She said, fuck your sandwich.
Put the iPhone in my ass! Put it in his ass, you heard him! Put the iPhones in my ass!
And it's just funny because absolutely no one out in public is scared of this dude or takes him seriously. They likely just think that he is mentally challenged. And so these type of videos were not really working, where he was saying, oh, put the fries in my ass. Maybe next he was gonna go to Best Buy, say, put the camera in my ass. Whatever it was gonna be, like if he was getting a colonoscopy or not, he was not going viral off this, so then he decided to take it up a notch and not just be like a minor disturbance for the employees, but to actually just be kind of an asshole, make a mess.
I'm doing the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge! I nominate LeBron James and Fetty Wap! Dog shit!
And I will say with this one, at least it was just water, like it's going to dry itself up, but you were still giving a hard time to these employees who are not making a livable wage. I mean, that's one thing I always hear these days from older people. Oh, nobody wants to work. Well, would you want to work if you were busting your ass for 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week? And then you still likely cannot even afford a nice place to live on your own. You cannot afford the basic necessities in life. You go to the grocery store, you feel like you're getting bent over. And this is exactly how you should deal with a dumbass like this.
Some pickles. Can I get more?
Want a dressing, mayo, or anything?
No, can I just keep getting more pickles? Yeah.
That's a little excessive, gang.
Can I get some more pickles?
That's it.
I can't get more? Why?
Gonna fit.
What do you mean it won't fit? Dude, I can't eat that if it doesn't have enough pickles.
Get the fuck out there. How's that?
And that's how you should handle a jackass like this. Sadly, fast food employees, retail employees, I'm guessing you have to deal with like this type of activity from time to time. A clout chaser coming in there with his meta glasses, you can tell you're being recorded, and you still have to try and keep your cool.
Get out now.
You want us to pick it up?
No, I want you to get up and get the fuck out of my store.
Either way, these were not really the antics recorded, and you still have to try and keep your cool.
Get out. Now.
You want us to pick it up?
No, I want you to get up and get the fuck out of my store.
Either way, these were not really the antics that got Tommy in trouble. This is the type of thing that really started to get him on the police's radar.
15K in the books! Give me a hell! Yeah!
Doing all of that for 15,000 followers is insane. And it might seem funny to some of you guys, or I'm sure maybe some people out there watching this have created similar content as this.
Me tough knuckles, and I'm the reason why these egg prices are so high! You can bet on it live on Cautionly.com!
Of course, the dipshit got a gambling sponsorship right away. You can't make it up. These gambling companies see anyone getting any sort of attention online, even if it's bad, and they immediately approach them with tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, I'm sure they figure like these are the easiest idiots to get into our program. The people watching these things on a daily must be very low IQ. And so the egg one specifically, and also this one, is how he ended up in court.
Tough knuckles! I just hit 25K! Bean challenge! Get me to 50K! We'll do more!
He actually did this at an Asian restaurant. I would say that that was his big mistake because they're not gonna put up with that foolishness. And so they're the ones that got the police involved. Like I said, the dumping on the head of the eggs and the beans, that got him in trouble, but the felonies would actually be from videos that he has now deleted from his page. But don't y'all worry y'all's pretty little heads, because the local news actually has us covered.
Now to the arrest in Suffolk County of a prankster clamoring for online fame.
Yeah, 21-year-old Kyle Vasquez is accused of being behind a string of bizarre incidents in Center Reach and Selden that he allegedly recorded and then posted to social media. In one case, they say he poured a bucket of beans on his head inside a Chinese restaurant. He also, they say, asked 3 homeowners to use their bathroom, and while inside, recorded homeowners without their consent.
And that is where this guy is going to be catching these felony charges. He would basically run up on these people and say, yo, I really gotta take a shit. I got some diarrhea in my pants. And then he would go into their house and make a huge mess in their bathroom, documenting the entire thing for his TikTok clout. Like I said, he did delete those videos from his profile. I did actually find them online, but I won't be showing them them in this video for my own legal protection and for those homeowners' privacy.
Well, Liz, he was chasing likes on TikTok, where he has nearly 5 million of them. But police here in Suffolk County say that Kyle Vasquez was also chasing something else, the dollar, making money off these TikToks and allegedly exploiting private homeowners and businesses in the process.
And this is where the real funny part of the video comes in. Keep in mind, this is a guy who still lives with his mother. I actually saw that be confirmed in another news segment.
Vasquez lives with his mother.
And look how tough this guy really thinks he is, okay? The nickname that he gave himself is going to his head.
Kyle, you wanted attention, now you got it.
But Kyle Vasquez had trouble navigating all the attention at court today. Big trouble. First, an obscene gesture.
Hey, what are you doing? What? We're not doing that.
Then he tried to...
Did that cop not have the most New Jersey accent of all time? Hey, what is you doing?
Obscene gesture.
Hey, what are you doing?
All time. Hey, what is you doing? Doing.
Obscene gesture.
Hey, what are you doing?
All time. Hey, what is you doing?
Obscene gesture.
Hey, what are you doing? What? We're not doing that.
Then he tried to barge out a side door in conflict with the officers that were here to escort him out. The 21-year-old from Coram, known as Tommy Tough Knuckles on TikTok, facing 8 separate criminal counts today for viral videos like this one. Police say that's 50 raw eggs he dumped over his head outside Ralph's Italian Ices here in Center Reach. Then there's the incident up the road inside Winghua Chinese restaurant, where police say he spilled the beans.
Yeah, I'm very angry. They're all angry because they made me a mess for the place.
That's what I'm saying, guys. Do not play with these motherfucking Asians, and definitely do not play with their place of business. They take that shit very seriously. That is their sanctuary. That is where they're usually spending 17 hours a day. Okay, they might even sleep in the back. I mean, to me, Tommy, whose real name is Kyle, really just seems like that disrespectful douche that you grew up with at school, whose parents let him do absolutely whatever he wanted and they always got him off the hook. Like, I would think that that type of, oh, my baby can do no wrong parenting has to be what festers this type of activity.
The restaurant releasing this surveillance video to show what they were subjected to, all for likes on social media.
Give me 50 K, we'll do more!
But the felony counts were far worse, authorities telling us. Vasquez unlawfully recorded 2 private homeowners with an undercover camera in Selden and Center Reach to mock them for allowing him inside.
The individuals were taken advantage of because they were kind, and they let somebody into the house claiming that they had to use a bathroom in an extreme way.
So yeah, guys, don't think that this TikTok shit shit is all fun and games. Once you pass the age of 18, you could be catching felonies over this stuff. Even you guys who like to run around with your meta glasses, y'all need to be careful, bro. Because people are catching on to that stuff, and if they think you're trying to make them like the butt of an internet joke, you might get punched in your fucking face. I've seen it happen.
Tough Knuckles, not so tough as he then bolted from us at the courthouse. Free till his next court appearance, but shielded by friends who came here mostly to twerk.
And I gotta say, guys, birds of a feather, they often flock together, and it looks like him and his gang are just a bunch of dipshits, honestly. Look at this guy dancing. They see nothing serious about this situation. They probably think this is the coolest thing anyone in the friend group has ever done. Oh, you know my friend Tommy Tough Knuckles? He's so clouded, bro.
Your video causes someone else harm or embarrassment, then you've crossed the line, and there will be consequences.
And we are going to be seeing a lot more of this here in the future, guys. Where people are going to be pressing charges on others who are trying to make them a spectacle to go viral online. Like, it's all fun and games until you're paying these massive legal fees, or they're shutting down your whole operation. Like, at some point, these social media platforms are going to be stepping in to protect their own ass and deleting these profiles.
Yeah, and those consequences are Class E felonies for the dissemination of illegal surveillance and the illegal surveillance itself. Vasquez, aka Tommy Tough Knuckles, due back in court on June 30th. We're live outside police headquarters here in...
And I will be updating you guys when this dumbass goes back to court. And while this Class E felony is not the most serious of them all, it's actually very minor in terms of felonies, it can still land you in prison for 1 to 5 years. You will likely face fines, you will likely face probation, and overall it's just not worth it for the TikTok clout. But now you got the dumbass on GoFundMe looking for help from other dumbasses. And somehow this man has got $235 of his $5,000 goal. I'm Tommy Tough Knuckles, and I got arrested for some pranks. I need money for a lawyer so I can keep making y'all laugh. I would really appreciate the support. Well, according to the news, we actually know, dude, that you're still living at home off mommy's money.
Vasquez lives with his mother.
So why don't you ask her? Why don't you go into her purse and pull out the hundreds? In all seriousness though, guys, it is just astonishing to me the type of world we live in now. How quickly things have really accelerated ever since the dawn of TikTok, the dawn of people trying to go viral. It's like every day there's a new clown on the loose, and Tommy Tough Knuckles is really just the latest example. But I want to know what you guys think about this situation down below. Like I said, originally, some of the content, it was funny, it was entertaining, but then it's like there's this very slippery slide, so all of a sudden you're doing this criminal activity and you end up in court and you're flicking the police off and shit. It's just not good. I don't know what kids out there, or even young adults like this, aspire to be, but Either way, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's
What occurs when a tarantula spots a leech? Here we have a typical medicinal leech that hasn't fed for nearly half a year. Yet this leech swiftly picks up the spider's scent and heads its way. Leeches rely on smell to detect prey, and the spider gave off a scent that attracted it. Interestingly, the spider wasn't bothered by the leech's approach. Instead, it chose to stay completely still. It knew there was no need to move. Its urticating hairs would handle the threat. The toxic effect from those tiny bristles slowly began taking hold. The leech reacted oddly for just a moment. Soon after, it looked like this. Shortly afterward, the leech made one last try to reach the spider, and that turned out to be a deadly error. A bit later, the tarantula attempted to eat the leech but wasn't successful. What occurs when a tarantula spots a leech? Here we have a typical medicinal leech that hasn't fed for nearly half a year. Yet this leech swiftly picks up the spider's scent and heads its way. Leeches rely on smell to detect prey, and the spider gave off a scent that attracted it. Interestingly, the spider wasn't bothered by the leech's approach. Instead, it chose to stay completely still. It knew there was no need to move. Its urticating hairs would handle the threat. The toxic effect from those tiny bristles slowly began taking hold. The leech reacted oddly for just a moment. Soon after, it looked like this. Shortly afterward, the leech made one last try to reach the spider, and that turned out to be a deadly error. A bit later, the tarantula attempted to eat the leech but wasn't successful. What occurs when a tarantula spots a leech? Here we have a typical medicinal leech that hasn't fed for nearly half a year. Yet this leech swiftly picks up the spider's scent and heads its way. Leeches rely on smell to detect prey, and the spider gave off a scent that attracted it. Interestingly, the spider wasn't bothered by the leech's approach. Instead, it chose to stay completely still. It knew there was no need to move. Its urticating hairs would handle the threat. The toxic effect from those tiny bristles slowly began taking hold. The leech reacted oddly for just a moment. Soon after, it looked like this. Shortly afterward, the leech made one last try.
In this video, we've got a driver swimming through traffic like it's a video game. A Charger showing off in front of the cops.
Bro, there's more cops coming.
A pro racer flying down the highway. 3 street racers. No clue a cop's right behind them. And so much more. On April 27, 2004, in Oklahoma City, a pursuit began when officers attempted to pull over Scott Taft's blue Mustang for a traffic violation. Upon discovering he was wanted on federal warrants, Taft fled, reaching speeds of up to 110 miles per hour, and even driving the wrong way into traffic. In Oklahoma, a head-on collision like that could mean first-degree murder. At this point, he's being heavily chased, and police are ready to try everything to stop him. From spike strips to pit maneuvers, they're throwing the entire playbook at this guy.
And now, like the OHP officer is trying to bump the back of that car.
Like they spun him out.
He spun out. He's now heading backwards. There was a That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
Everything happened so quickly. You know, I'm trying to steer, shift gears, and not hit anything. And, you know, everything's a blur, though.
Bro thinks he's in Fast and Furious.
He's going to try it again.
They're going to try it again.
I have never seen anything like this.
But we are still going westbound. They're trying to spin him out here on I-240.
Oh, my goodness. This person has the lives of a cat. There we go. It worked. Third time worked.
The officer opened his door, thinking it was over, but Taft wasn't done yet.
They're trying to corral him, but boy.
He is not giving up. No, this is
determined to get away.
Car's still running. Why give up?
It was finally over for Taft. The pursuit ended with a tactical maneuver that sent his Mustang crashing out. Officers swarmed in, pulled him from the car, and placed him under arrest. No injuries were reported. Inside the car, police found a gun, cash, and meth. Later, Taft's family lawyered up, and somehow his 12-year sentence was reduced to just 18 months. One driver was ready for war. The others didn't even see it coming. On October 29, 2022, in Arkansas, Trooper Nathan Williams spots 3 muscle cars, 2 Challengers and a Mustang, street racing down the highway. He doesn't light them up right away. Instead, he quietly trails them, close enough to catch their plates. They start racing thinking they're alone on the highway. The white Challenger takes the lead, and Trooper Williams stays close, sneaking in to get all their license plates. Once he's close enough to the Challenger, he finally turns on his lights. The black car backs off, but the white Challenger, he's clearly challenged with cops now. Trooper Williams pushes to 140 miles per hour, but the Challenger is just too fast. The gap widens. However, the driver doesn't realize the true cost of street racing, a license plate that can track you down. A few moments later, several units show up at an apartment complex. They find the white Challenger parked, and the cops take his toy, impounding it, teaching him a hard lesson. No information has been released about the other drivers, but they must have known the heat was on. This guy blasts past 100 miles per hour, swimming through traffic like a maniac. He's a danger to everyone, and of course the cops are on him. What happens next? Even video games don't go this crazy. Then comes the funny part. A cop tries sneaking in with lights off, but that's when the real chaos kicks in. The cop hits the spotlight, not to warn, but to mark his target. The first unit can't keep up. Backup's on the way. But can anyone actually stop him? At this point, the driver feels untouchable, swimming through traffic like a pro. Then he sees red and blue lights. But it's just an ambulance, and just like that, he's gone. This one has a crazy storyline. These guys were recording a music video, and it accidentally turned into a felony. On August 2nd, 2020 in Houston, Texas, a gold Dodge Charger started putting on an insane show. Burnouts, donuts, the works. But suddenly, police showed up out of nowhere. Instead of stopping, the Charger took it as a chance to put on an even bigger show. Didn't just flee, he drifted around corners, hit full throttle, and escalated the situation on purpose. Moments later, he made it onto the highway where that 6.4-liter Hemi engine really started to shine.
Bro, there's more cops coming. Oh no. Bro, he outran the cops.
At high speeds, the Charger began outrunning more and more police cruisers. What started as a flex for social media quickly became a full-blown high-speed pursuit. What you're about to see is something different. This car looks like a real race car, but no one could have guessed how this pursuit would play out.
That vehicle, well, as you can see, it's hard to keep track of because the driver, well, he simply continues to make some pretty wild turns.
No sirens. No panic. Just 125 miles per hour on the highway like it's Sunday cruise. What no one knew, the guy behind the wheel was Jeff Gordon, a NASCAR legend.
This guy's going on this freeway with traffic, and he's exiting here. He's flying off that. You see that car's diving out of the way there. He's going to go straight through that street and continue now on this.
All right, Gil, we're going to stay with your live picture here. And it looks like the suspect is approaching Fox Studios and may try and stop there.
While watching this chase, you should be feeling that something's off. What even is this chase?
And here he is coming to a stop. Let's see what happens here.
The cops jump out ready to make the arrest, but instead they pull out their phones.
What's going on here, guys? I'm just on my way to work.
Yeah, we know. We just want to selfie.
Oh, great. Yeah, let's do it.
Yep, this whole thing was just a commercial for the Daytona 500, starring none other than Jeff Gordon. Every scene was carefully staged to promote NASCAR's biggest race of the year. Subscribe for more crazy chases if you enjoyed this one. We've got police hitting 130 miles per hour to stop this